My name's Tom Yetman. I'm a fire prevention officer. I'm with the Newfoundland Labrador Association of Fire Services, and this is our Learn Not to Burn program. That was a program started approximately 17 years ago when it was first introduced into the curriculum into our school system. And what I do as its coordinator, I travel throughout the primary and elementary schools all over Newfoundland and Labrador and teach fire safety. Things like don't stop, drop and roll, don't play with matches. We talk about the 911 system. We talk about smoke alarms, also about playing with matches, how important it is not to play with matches, and what the impact it can be to the community and to yourself. Also, we are we have a great partnership with the 911 system, and they graciously donated this, what I call this hazard house. It's a house like yours or mine, but obviously it has a lot of hazards in it, and I talk about all the hazards in that. But these people at 911, they donated this house to us 2 years ago, and this is the major tool that I use in teaching the students about the fire safety. I talk to them about prevention, talk to them about hazards, and I talk to them what to do if they're in a situation that they're not able to control. Thank you very much. Okay.
4, 5, and 6s.
4, 5s, and 6s. Good afternoon. How's everybody?
Good.
Good. My name is Tom, guys. I am a retired firefighter, which means that I don't actively fight fires anymore. What I do now is I teach fire safety in the schools all over Newfoundland and Labrador. And I have with me this afternoon Captain Trent from your fire department here in Burgeo. And he so graciously took his the busy schedule and came with me for the afternoon. So I want you to say hello to Trent for me. And you guys probably know him anyway, so yeah. We're here today, we're going to talk about fire safety. Obviously, two things that I do talk about, guys, when I talk about fire safety. I talk about hazards and I talk about prevention. Can someone tell me what a hazard is? Other than homework. Come on, what's a hazard? Come on, start thinking. You got an hour left into your school day. Yes?
A hazard is one of those big buildings where when there's a fire, it can it'll catch like a smoke detector. It's like a smoke detector.
Okay. Yep. Want to add to that? Yep.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. Something that's dangerous. Something that could hurt us. What about prevention? If we're preventing something from happening, what are we doing?
Keeping her safe.
Keeping us safe. We're stopping it from happening, aren't we? You're right. Keeping us safe. So what we're going to do today, guys, this is my hazard house. It's a house like yours or mine, but this one here is full of hazards. It's full of things that are dangerous. What we're going to do, we're going to identify those dangerous things, or those hazards. We're going to talk about how we can stop or prevent them from happening. Sometimes we can't stop things from happening. So we're going to talk about how we stay safe, okay? When something do happen that's out of our control. First thing I want to talk about though,
Fire alarm.
fire alarm, smoke alarms,
Smoke detector.
smoke detectors, whatever name, doesn't matter. What do they do?
Beep. Beep when there's a fire.
Beep when there's a fire. When there's smoke in our room, these things will go like this. Someone said to me the other day, they said, why does it have to be so loud?
Because you can hear it at any time that you lights. You can't They wake you up.
Exactly. If I'm in my bed and my smoke alarm, then some smoke comes in my room and my smoke alarm goes beep, 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 beep. Is anyone going to hear that?
No.
I'm not going to hear it. I don't think you guys are going to hear it.
And then you-
So it has to be nice and loud, because when we hear that sound, what do we do? We get out, we stay out, don't
We
we?
have to do it if it's hot first.
You could, yes, you do.
Call the firefighters.
Yeah, well, we get out, don't we? Our first thing to do is to get out to safety, okay? Your personal safety is very important. We worry about the fire after. You get out first. You get out, and as long as you're safely outside your house. Would you go back in for your pets?
No.
No, we never go back in for our pets. Who's the only people who can go back in for our pets?
Firefighters.
Right, because they have this special equipment now,
Yeah.
right? Do we have that on?
No, dogs.
We don't have that on, so these can I ask you a question? Why do we call them firefighters?
They fight fires.
Okay, why do we call them firefighters and not firemen?
Because women fight fires as well.
Right. There's ladies in our fire departments, okay? They've been there for the last, I'm saying 40 years or so, probably longer. And I don't know, if you were in the fire department, would you want to be called a fireman? No, that's right. Captain Trent doesn't want to be called a firewoman, does he? So we are called fire fighters. We're called firefighters. This firefighter has the reason that they can go in and look for our pets. Yeah, they have special boots on, pants, jacket. They have special gloves. They have a mask on, or they have a mask on. They have think about Halloween then. They have a helmet on, but they do have a mask on, don't they?
Like oxygen.
Yeah, this mask is hooked up to a tank on their backs that they wear. It gives them air, that's right, it gives them fresh air. That's the reason that firefighters can go into a house and save our pets, save people, knock down the fire, put the fire out, okay? Because they have this special equipment on, okay? So the question I guess I asked you, I was in a school one day and I asked this question. I said, would you, if your house was on fire and you couldn't get out of your bedroom, would you hide underneath your bed? And someone said, no, I wouldn't hide underneath my bed, but I would hide in my closet.
I would never hide in my closet.
No. No, you'd stay out in the open because Captain Trent is coming in looking like this. You may not know who he is, but he's there to rescue you. Okay? And he doesn't want to try to find you. Okay? He doesn't want to do that because the quicker he can get you out to safety, the better. So he needs to know where you're to. He needs for you to make as much noise as you can to let him know where you're to so he can rescue you and get you out to safety. Okay? Clear as mud?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next, we'll talk about, I've got to ask you a question. Will you guys, when you go home tonight, you guys check your smoke alarms for me?
Yeah.
You guys get your mom and dad to help you? Okay? If they don't work,
Take battery.
yeah, check the battery. Make sure that the battery is working in it, okay? But please check them. Everybody got one in their house?
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Some people got
more than one.
I only got one.
Okay, that's great. Please check them, make sure they're working. Yes?
I got a smoke alarm in every room I have.
Okay, good for you.
We can tell if it's working because it got a green light. If it's not working, it'll turn to red.
Okay, yeah. No, it's you just press on this button here, and that activates your smoke alarm, okay? And it's working. Okay, we're going to talk about these things for a little while. Anybody use real candles in their house?
Yeah.
When the power's off.
Sometimes when the power's off, that's right, people use candles. You know, no matter, who's supposed to light a candle?
Parents
And
or guardian.
And what should you do when you leave the room in your
Blow
candle? Still, always blow out these things.
Sorry for the interruption, but can Maggie Parsons come to the office, please? Thank you.
If you don't blow out, so, like the fire will spread.
Exactly. No matter how big the candle is, could be one like that, could be one like that, but there's still fire on the end of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
And the top
And
could fall off.
especially if you have one of those in front of your couch, and you lit it, and you leave, you might have your window open, and it might hit your couch and
Yeah.
catch on fire.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we really need to watch these if we use them. Like I said, you never leave a candle unattended. Okay. Especially if you have pets. Cats love candles. They love batting at candles, at the light, at the fire, and they can easily tip these things over. Okay.
My dog and cat don't play with candles.
No, but sometimes we do find that cats, especially, like I said, do like fire. Make sure that you keep your pets away from it, okay, if you do use them. What could we use instead of candles, though? It's like I said, no matter how big, what's that? Miss?
Raise a hand.
No matter how big, like I said, no matter how big your candles are, there's still fire on the end of it. So what could we use instead of candles if the lights went out that are
Raise your hand, Samuel.
that are a lot safer? Yeah,
A lamp or flashlight.
we could use flashlights. There's all different kinds, sizes of flashlights, big ones, small ones. Could use flashlights. We could use battery-operated candles.
Yeah.
Battery-operated
Lamp.
lamps. We could use those, like the camping lamps that we use, right? Could use it, yeah.
You use like the tables.
The little tea lights, these, yeah, you could use tea lights. A lot of people use, I know I use them in my pumpkins this year. This too, I use these in my pumpkins. A lot of people, Christmas is coming up, and a lot of decorations for Christmas, you got to put some kind of a candle into them. So it's nice to have these.
And you could.
Put them in it.
And
Yeah.
like my mom made this last year, but she got like three pieces of white paper, and like she made us one, and she used one of those, what are they called?
Wow, good. Yeah. Well, you know something. What about if she used a real candle and put it next to the paper? Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't be a very good thing to do. That wouldn't be a very smart thing. It's going to catch the paper on fire. So you use one of these. Hey, lots smart. What else could we use, guys? Yes.
It could use a generator to hook up.
Could use a generator. Make sure though your generator would, Mom and Dad put the generator inside in the kitchen?
No.
No. Where should a generator always
We
be?
need a basement.
Always, always outdoors. Make
Yeah.
sure you put your generators, always make sure that the exhaust is going outside. Right? Yes, sir.
You could use like,
What about glow sticks?
Yes.
Glow sticks are pretty good. Hey, I didn't notice, but you could crack your glow sticks up, but you can use them again if you freeze them. I did not know that.
I did.
Yeah, you learn something every day, I guess. But you could use glow sticks or yeah.
or night lights.
Night lights, battery operated night lights. I was in school a while ago. I told the other class this, that the lights had gone out in her house and her dad couldn't find the flashlight. Couldn't find it anywhere, right? So anyway, she thought for a couple of minutes and then she said, Dad, I think I got some light. So she went to her toy box, thank you. And she took out her toy car and she turned the car and that turned on the headlights of the car, and she was going around looking for it, and she she found the flashlight for her dad. So a lot of times we got light there. It's just that we got to think about where it's to. Also, your cell phone. On your cell phone, Captain Trent has a flashlight, right, on our cell phones we use. Right?
That's why you usually...
You can't use it, can you? That's why, you know, you always got to be prepared. And that's a really good point. You should always have an emergency kit done up. Sometimes, do you guys, do the lights go out very much down here?
Yeah, winter time we get a lot of wind.
Yeah, and that so, you know, a lot of people use generators, but, you know, if you had a little kit with flashlights in it, extra batteries, if you had a first aid kit, you had extra water, things like that that you could put in your emergency kit, that would be very beneficial when you need it. Yes, sir?
Make sure the phone's charged up before the
Exactly. That's right. Make sure that all those things are charged up, right?
So you can be occupied and
Well, then you're all ready, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're all prepared for it then, right? So, which is safer, guys? This one or this one?
That one.
This one here is a lot safer, hey? Okay.
You won't burn yourself.
Yeah, that's right. You know, there's a lot of disadvantages of using real candles, hey? You know? Okay, let's go to these things.
Matches.
Anybody here play with matches?
No.
No one plays
I don't
with
even know how
matches?
to use one. Daddy only likes them for fire
That's right.
in the wood stove.
Sure, adults use these things. We don't use them. I was talking to one of the firefighters in St. John's one day, and they were telling me this story about how they got a call on their 911 system. This little guy, what had happened was, the story behind it was, this little guy was at school. He was in grade 7, and he was at school, and anyway, his buddies and himself were talking about how cool it was to play with matches. So anyway, he got off the bus that afternoon, and he went home. There's nobody home, and when he went home, he said, I think I might try, you know, playing with matches, see what it's like, you know. So anyway, he went, he got some matches from his dad's garage, and he brought them up in his bedroom. And he started striking the matches and throwing them in a waste paper basket. But he didn't know that the waste paper basket was full of paper. So he threw them in there, and he never seen anything. Anyway, he went on downstairs, and when he was getting a lunch downstairs in the kitchen, he heard that sound up in his bedroom. When he went up in his bedroom, it was on fire. His room looked pretty close to this here. What had happened was the waste paper basket was in underneath the curtain, and when he had left the room, the fire started and went up to the curtain, caught the curtain on fire, caught his bed on fire. So, well, what would you guys do if you walked in and your bedroom was on fire? What would you do?
Well, you
Call
can
the
spray the fire. What I would do is I would get out of my room, close the door, and call it.
I would get out of my house. I would get out. Your personal safety is really important. You want to make sure that you stay safe and sound. So you want to get out of your house first, and when you get out, okay, then you, if you got a cell phone, you can make a 911 call. Anybody here got a cell phone?
I do.
Silly question. A lot of people have cell phones. When you make if you make a call on a cell phone, please remember that the person will ask you your phone number, they will ask you your name, they'll ask you what community you're calling from, what address you are at, and what emergency you're looking for. The important thing to do, guys, is to stay on the phone, stay on the line with the person that's taking your call until they tell you to hang up, okay? Please do not hang up before they ask you all your questions. They need all this information, okay? And so make sure that you they need as much information as they can to dispatch whatever emergency that you're requiring. Right now you're requiring the fire department. So what's the number to your fire department? Right, you got an easy number to remember. If I did not know your number, if I was driving in here today and I did not know your number, what would I do?
Someone?
I would dial 911 because they would be able to connect me to Captain Trent's pager. He has a pager on. Just, yeah, you can, that's...
Pages. So if you call, it'll automatically come through this. When you guys go to sleep at night, what do you have on your nightstand? Alarm clock?
I don't even have a nightstand, so.
I go to sleep every night and that's on my nightstand. That's with me 24/7. It's with me all the time. So if you call it 886-3333 or 911, and when you talk on that, it's going to come through this, and then we can come to your fire and help you.
Yep. And if you have a cell phone, please make sure you get out. A lot of people say, oh, well, sure, I'll stay in the house and I'll make that 911 call or that 682-3333 call. But get out of your house first. Like I said, your personal safety is very important. Make sure you get out, then you can make your phone call, okay, on your phone. Because if you're walking along and you're trying to punch in your phone, you could walk into a fire. You're not watching your surroundings, okay? Because your house could be on fire. You could be walking in the smoke. You could be walking in the fire. Get out, stay out, and make your call. That's really important. Do you have a question? Oh, okay. This guy here, he decided that he did the same thing. He came home from school, he went down in the closet of his house right here, and he started playing with the matches. And this is what happened right here. Smoke started coming up. What do you think is the next sound he heard?
Fire alarm.
Right, he heard the smoke alarm. So, what do you think he done?
Did the wrong thing.
Oh, he definitely did the wrong thing by playing the matches, but now he just started a fire. So what do you think he's going to do now?
Get out of the house.
Right, he gets out of the house.
Make a call.
He is what you call rabbit ready. Can anyone remember what rabbit ready means?
No, I've never even heard of it. I'm not
Never-
from.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, rabbit ready means we have two ways out. It was the theme or the idea behind Fire Prevention Week this year, actually. Fire Prevention Week, every second counts, plan 2 ways out. Well, I call it rabbit ready. Rabbit ready means we have at least 2 ways out. We have a window and a door. Here in school you have loads of windows, you have doors. Same in your house, same in your bedroom. You have a window and a door to get out through. And we get the name rabbit ready obviously from the bunny rabbit who makes his home in the ground. Now what he does is he digs down in the ground and he comes back up like a U. So he has 2 ways out. And he builds it like that because he knows that the fox is going to come looking for him. And the fox goes down in the hole. He thinks he has the rabbit trapped, but does he?
No.
No.
You made a plan, Rich.
Yeah, he had another way out. So that's the same with us. Fire is not going to trap us because we're going to have at least 2 ways to get out. Okay? So this guy here, he started the fire. He heard the smoke alarm. He seen the smoke, and he got out and he dialed the 911, and he asked for the
Fire
A
truck.
fire truck, that's right. So, do smoke rise or fall?
Rise.
Okay, so that means all that smoke that's down here is going up the stairs, isn't it? So now all that smoke comes up here, right? And it goes into that room there, right?
It's hard to see the smoke in there.
Yeah, it's hard to see some of the smoke sometimes. So all that smoke comes up there, right? And goes in there, and that smoke alarm goes off, right? So, now, got a question to ask you. How come there's no smoke going in his sister's room? Right. The door is shut. So, if that door was open, what would happen?
The smoke will go in.
The smoke, see the smoke coming out there? The smoke would come out and go into a room. So she slept with her bedroom door shut. So all that smoke came up, it stayed out. But she heard the smoke alarms going off, right? All these smoke alarms were going off. She got up out of bed. There was no smoke in her room. She got up. What do you think was the first thing she did when she got up
She
out
felt
of
the
bed?
door.
Right. She got up. She didn't know where the fire was to, so she felt the door with the back of her hand. And when she felt it, it was really, really hot. Is she going to open up that door? No way. She leaves it shut, okay? Because if she opens it, what's going to happen?
Smoke come in. The fire will get in the house.
Oh,
Smoke is going to come out. So she leaves the door shut, but she got to get out. So how does she get out?
No, get a ladder first.
Well, what she does, well, you're both, you know something? Well, yeah, you're both right. What happens is that she couldn't get out through the door, but she's rabbit ready. She goes to the window, but her window is not really, it's high, it's not on the ground level. Like right here, if we had a fire at the door, where would we go to? Yeah, we'd open up the window and we could just climb out and we're out on the ground. But right here, she has a 2-story house. So her room is really high up, okay? So she's not gonna jump through the window.
No, she would hurt herself.
Exactly.
Break a bone.
So what she does is, she opens it, she calls out, she yells out, she waves her hands. She even had a whistle by her window. And she didn't play with this whistle, she left it there on the window of her sill,
Blow.
and she started blowing on this whistle. Why did she do all those things?
For the get a fire truck attention.
She could get the firefighters' attention.
Like you said, make noise.
Make noise, yeah. She needed somebody's attention. She needed either the firefighters or her neighbors. So her neighbors seen her and heard her before the firefighters got there, got a ladder and got her to safety. Right? Sometimes, does anybody have a high window? Yeah?
Mine's right above wood.
Okay. Do you have a ladder underneath your bed? Some people-
Mom and Dad do.
They do? Okay. Sometimes we have ladders in underneath our beds, and they're probably 10, 12 feet long, okay? And you can buy them, I think they're around $50 or $60 or something. Yeah, around there. If you ever get one, would you please get your mom and dad to show you how to use it? Okay? It's very important that you don't just leave it in the box there.
But if you never knew how to use it, how would you get rid of the fire?
Exactly. You're absolutely correct. So if you do get one, please make sure that you know how to use it. Yes, miss?
I have a question. When I was their age and we used to get presentations for fire prevention week, we were always told that if there was a fire in your home or in your bedroom, you could put a sheet or a blanket out through the windows, and then the firefighters would know where the fire was. Because remember, guys, This man doesn't know where we live. He doesn't know where your bedroom window is, or your bathroom window, or your kitchen window. So that's why you need to direct people towards the right direction,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
they don't know your home, they don't know your house, they don't know your layout. But when we were growing up, we were always told to put a blanket or a sheet out through the window, so then when the fire department came, they would say, okay, the sheet is in that window, so that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Should the kids
Sure,
still do that? Or-
sure, you could
or is
put.
that a no?
No, yes, yes. Don't try to fool me up now, miss. You can still do that. Sometimes I say to people, and I'm glad you brought it up, put a shirt out, throw a shirt out through the window. Or you could have a sheet there and hang the sheet out over, because when firefighter Trent comes along, he knows then that there's somebody in that room. He knows there's somebody there. It could be a t-shirt, it could be anything. It could be a sheet, it could be anything hanging out over the side. I don't recommend, people have said, well, let's tie sheets together and
Yeah.
get out that way. I thought that's what you're leading into. We don't recommend that. Number one, you need good knots for that. And
Right.
number two, it's not going to work for you.
Panic.
Because
There
if
is,
there's a fire in that room, the blanket can catch on fire.
Yeah, and you know something, if I'm in a room and I need a firefighter, I asked the other class, would you hide somewhere?
No.
No, you're definitely not going to hide. If you're in your bedroom and the house is on fire, what are you going to do? And you can't get out. What are you going to do?
Try to find a cookie way out.
You could try to find, but what about if you haven't got a way out?
What if you're in a room and there's fire on the other side of the door and you have no window?
What would you do?
I would just get
Good
out.
question.
Cross through
What?
the smoke, Dad, what you
What's that?
Cross through the smoke. Under it.
Well, yeah, but you can't. But how are you going to get out?
Under it.
You don't have a window, and you got the door, and the door's blocked with fire. Okay, here's another question. What about if there's smoke coming in underneath the door? What would you do?
Put a blanket.
I'd stop right off the bat. I would stop the smoke from coming in right away. You need to stop the smoke. That's your first thing. Stop the smoke from coming in. So you stop the smoke from
Get
coming
more
in.
air.
Now, that's right. Now you got air. Now you got some air. Do you know what I would do? Okay.
Like if you live close to water, like you can't get out because there's a lot of water just below you. Then the ends and the fire will go out the door, like open the window and like black smoke, like smoke clouds go over your door.
What about if you haven't got a window?
Morgan asked
This
if she
lady-
was in a room
Yeah.
and she had no window, or she couldn't fit through a window maybe. Because I know, like, I couldn't fit through my old living room, or my old bedroom window, and her door is blocked with fire. She has no way out. What should you do?
What are you going to do? Yes.
Put a blanket around your face and crawl under the smoke.
Smoke is still going to get in through the blanket, isn't it? Do you know what I would do?
Stay.
I would make as much noise as I can because firefighter Trent is coming as quickly as he can. They're on their way, but as soon as they get there, they need to know where you're to. Because that's a situation where they're going to need to come to you as quickly as possible. I would make as much noise as I could. I'm up here, I'm here, I'm here. Help, help, help. And I'd make as much noise. Well, obviously you got no window, so they can't see you. But that's what I would do. I would stop the smoke from coming in, because then, just like you said, there's air. So I got more air now, so I stopped the smoke from coming in, but now I gotta make as much noise, because somebody is coming, and they need to get to you as quickly as possible, and that gentleman there is gonna do that. He's coming in, but if he knows where you're to, if he can hear you calling out and yelling out, and that's where he's going to. And he's going to take you out as quickly as he can to safety. Right? So, yes, sir.
Like, they say you got 2-floor hills, and you make noise with hard skin. How do my hill come to the drip? How do they do a fit on every floor? And you hear them from the
Yeah.
Top on the floor. And make it fail.
Make as much noise as you can, so you let people know where you're to, okay? What about if some of us sleep with our bedroom doors open? So, all that smoke now, where's it gonna go to?
Go in the room.
It's coming in her bedroom. She got her bedroom door open, so all that smoke out here is going to come in here. So now, what do you think is gonna wake her up?
The fire.
The smoke alarm is going to wake her up. Her smoke alarm that's in her bedroom. So the smoke alarm wakes her up, right? And she gets up out of bed. Does she? She get up out of bed?
Yes. Yeah.
Her room is full of smoke.
She,
What does she do?
Rolls at bed.
I wouldn't stand up in the smoke. Would you?
No.
No.
I wouldn't care.
How's she going to get from her bed to the window?
Roll.
She crawls, yeah. She crawls in underneath the smoke. You guys told me that smoke rises, right?
Yeah.
Right? You guys said smoke goes up, so all the smoke goes up, right? So that means all the air is down here. So if you stay low and go, you will be able to get out to safety, right? Because the air is down here. That's why you have to be as quick and as possible. Because, like at a campfire, you ever been at a campfire and the smoke comes back in your face?
Yeah.
But then it goes off into the air, right?
I hate when
But, yeah, so do I. I really don't like that. But, you know something? In a room, the smoke goes up, but it slowly comes down because it has nowhere to go. So it's coming down, coming in. That's why it's really important that if you got smoke in your room, you get out, you're crawling underneath that smoke as quickly as you can.
And get the ladder.
Okay? And you get out, you're crawling underneath the smoke, and you get out to safety. Okay? What do you do for your fire drills here in school? Every month you have a fire drill. You're sitting down at your desk. You're doing your work. Miss give you a lot of work to do?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'd be very cautious in how I answer that. Miss gave you some work to do, you're doing your work, all of a sudden the fire alarm goes. What do?
You just stop what you're doing.
You start
And go to the door.
because you got her hand up.
And you just run to the door.
Do you run out the door?
Walk out.
You walk out the door very quickly. You don't.
No.
You walk out quickly. You everybody just walk out, get out, and go on home, or what do you do?
Stay in a little mini circle.
You what?
Because in the mini circle so you cannot.
Oh, okay. So you.
Sometimes if it's cold, we all hug, you know, so.
Oh, okay. So you get out and you get out to your meeting place or your safe place, right?
Yeah.
You go to your meeting place. Where's your meeting place to? Here.
Outside school.
Okay, so you go out there and you're all in one group. You're all there. And Miss does something. What does she do? How come she? How come she counts you?
So because she don't want none of us to be in a fire drill. Like she don't want us to be like staying in the class.
What if, okay, we have 15 in
Good.
class, what if we go outside and we only got 13? I came 13, do I just say, okay, well, do what's missing?
Whatever.
What do I do? What do I do?
What do you do? What does Miss do?
If there's only 13 of us, where's the other two?
Probably in the school.
So then what do I have to do?
Go back in there.
Oh, go in. I wouldn't go in, but I would have to find
That's right. Yep.
someone.
He would. Miss would have to say, Captain Trent, Tom Yetman has left in school. I can't find him. He's not here with us. What are we doing? What do I have to do here? Captain Trent has to go in looking for Tom Yetman because he's in, right? That's why I always say to everybody, please make sure that you're very quiet when you go outside. The most important thing for Miss at that particular time is to make sure that you guys, she has everybody safe and sane. outside doing it. And that's really important. That's why I tell everybody to be very quiet, because if I'm talking to my buddy, me and you are having the biggest kind of a chat, okay? And she says, Tom Yetman, and I'm talking and I never heard Miss. Now she just sends
Everybody.
firefighter Trent in to look for Tom Yetman, and I'm outside laughing and carrying on and having a chat with my buddy. Not too good, is it? Not very good situation.
Why is it better for Trent or another firefighter to go in instead of me? Instead of me running through the halls looking for Mackenzie or Samuel, why is it better for me to tell Trent or another fireman?
They got a
Firefighter?
suit on.
You got a suit on, right?
And
What is the suit gonna do?
protect them when they go in the fire.
Exactly. Perfect. This is the suit, like we said, right?
It's the action.
I seen them get
Like if you make
dressed
a
and
noise,
everything.
like the fire upstairs, the stuff could fall on you.
Yeah, that's why they have a helmet on.
Or you
right?
could not get knocked
And
out.
firefighters have to protect themselves, and when they protect themselves, they can protect everybody else. Okay, okay. I'm just going to show you a couple of the other things before we go. We're coming up to
15 minutes.
50. I still got 15 minutes, miss. You're putting a lot of pressure on me. I just want to talk, Christmas is coming up. Another month, in a couple of months, Christmas will be here. I want to make sure that you're using, I'm trying to find, where's my, here it is. A lot of times what happens, guys, is that we all tend to plug everything into the one outlet. Okay? We plug it on, we buy these boxes, and there's probably 6 outlets in it. Okay? And what happens is we plug them into our outlets at home and we start plugging in everything. What happens is there's too much electricity going through the wires, and this is what happens. Excuse me.
It falls in the water.
No, this is what happens. Just watch this. That's what happens. There's too much electricity going through the wires, and that causes fire. What could we use that's a lot safer? Yes. We could use one outlet. Like here in the kitchen, there's only one outlet here, but everything is plugged into
Looks
it.
like there's
So what we could do is we could have
one.
2 outlets. Because if we got 2 outlets, now we can plug in the coffee machine and the kettle in one, maybe, or the toaster in the other one, and they're on different lines. They're on different
You can unplug it there.
circuits that there's not too much electricity going through the wires and causing a fire, right? So, yeah. So, especially Christmas time is coming up. What could we use? The same thing could happen in your living rooms or your playrooms. We tend to plug in a lot of things in it. Lamps, our e-readers, our cell phones, our TVs, our Xbox. You still use Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Okay,
brother does.
Xbox, so you use all these things, plug them all into the one outlet, but that's what happens. What could we use instead of that? Plugging it into the one outlet?
Unplugging?
Power bar. This is a power bar. This is a device that we use. You plug it into the outlet, okay? And I can plug in up to 6 items in this power bar.
Mommy got that.
And if there's too much electricity going through the wires,
You can turn it on and off.
it automatically turns on and off. Okay, it's a safety on it, and it will turn it off. It will turn off the electricity,
It's a safe.
and it's very safe, okay? So, especially Christmas time, or if you have a lot of things that are plugged in, please make sure anybody got these at home? I think we
My
got
mom
these at
has
home.
tons.
Yeah, I think a lot of these are useful. People use them at home, so. One last thing to do Do you want to come up here? And do you want to come up here? Okay. Here we go. What's your name? Mackenzie and Hunter. Okay, Mackenzie and Hunter. Hunter's going to take his hands out of his pockets. Thank you. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to do something if our clothes is on fire. What is it?
Stop, and roll.
Right on. Stop, drop, and roll. So what we're going to do is, you want to face your classmates. No, that's okay. You can stand up. Okay. I'm just going to do this because, right? So what we do is, if our clothes is on fire, would you run?
No.
Why?
Because that will make the fire bigger.
Yeah, how come though it makes the fire bigger?
The wind blows in the fire.
Yeah, air is fuel. Right, air is fuel for the fire, and that makes it bigger, doesn't it? So what we got to do is we got to stop what we're doing right away, don't we?
Yeah.
Right? So we cover our face. Right on. We tuck in our elbows because we can't roll like that, can we? So we tuck in our elbows, we cover our face, we get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Get your bellies right touching the ground. Your belly's got to touch the ground. You're like a rooster there. There you go. And you roll. Watch yourselves, don't hurt you. And you roll. Good. Oh, okay. All right, let's give them a hand, guys. Good job. Any questions? Any concerns? Any issues? Anything you'd like to bring up before we conclude? We're going to get a picture before I leave, so I'd like to do that. Yes? Yeah, you don't want to have that, do you? That's, especially babies or young kids, right? You don't want any of that around, do you? It's certainly a safety issue. Yes?
If you're like leaving the house, you should always turn off all your lights. If you have every single light on in the house, turn off. Yeah, when you leave, turn them all off.
You know what, that's...
If you don't, it could, and also like catch on fire. Now at my house, I have this lock plugged into my wall, and usually I unplug one and I stick it in the other plug.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, you don't want little kids sticking their fingers in around those fans, do you? And those are small enough, their little fingers are...
Like their pinky fingers.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
like their nails.
Keep electrocuted stuff away from waters and bathtubs.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
If it falls in, it'll go make that noise again.
Very serious. Water and electricity don't mix, does it?
And electricity will go through
Yeah.
there and blow every
Yeah.
hole in town.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Miss has some armbands for you. Do you have enough, Miss?
Yes, Trent gave me extras.
He gave you some extras? Okay, good. That's for you guys. It has the 911 logo on it. So we're going to get a picture.
Okay. Yeah. Nathan, move your head over towards Sarah a little bit. Kim's, okay. Okay, hold on. Now I want to see it one more. Okay. Perfect. Good stuff.
Thank you, Miss, very much.